Hello, hello. Howdy, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to another episode of Ask the CHOQTOR. I am your friendly neighborhood doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine, Chief Scientific Officer and Formulator, Dr. Matt Dorsey, DACM. Good to see some familiar faces. Hey, what's up, Mohammed? Remember you? You've been here quite a few times, as well as Abigail. King, I've seen you here before. How you guys doing? Howdy. Nice. So we got 7 people already waiting. That's always a good sign. Gustavo, very cool. Yeah, nice. Looks like Abigail got her early. She gets points for showing up early there. Nice. Well, if you are tuning in for just the first time, if any of you guys are new, we will be giving away some prizes in a little bit here at random times and based on random numbers. So make sure you stick around. Don't leave before you have your chance to win some free CHOQ products. Hunter, how's it going? Danny B. Who else we got? Chuck. Yeah, quite a few familiar faces. I don't see Laura here yet. She's here most times. I'm sure she'll pop in soon. All right, so let's see. Abigail asks about olive oil. Yeah, olive oil is great. Absolutely. I would say with respect to olive oil, there's a controversy regarding how high you can heat it. And actually, when I worked used to work at Natural Grocers as a nutritional health coach there for a little while, basically like the nutritionist on staff. And all of the nutritional education department, there was discussion about that. And what was actually determined is that you can heat olive oil a little higher than people realize because of the antioxidants in it that will actually protect it from oxidation. So, one of the reasons that it's so important to know about oxidation, right, is so you can know why things like Apex glutathione are helpful for you, why the fulvic acid and shilajit is so helpful, why so many other of the supplements and foods and fruits and vegetables, berries that you eat, why the antioxidants are so critical, right? So what's happening when we're overheating something, we're actually causing a form of oxidative damage. That's not the only thing that happens, but that is part of it. So the antioxidants in olive oil can actually potentially give it make it a little bit more heat tolerant than you would think based on the fatty acid profile. So yeah. All right, let's see. Future Fame New York is asking about kratom. Yeah, so kratom is an interesting one. The main active compound, I believe, is called mitragynine. Mitragynine is a mu-opioid receptor agonist. In pharmacology language, that means that it hits a particular kind of the opiate receptor, right? So kratom does have opiate qualities to it. Obviously, it's not botanically related to the opium poppy whatsoever, but pharmacologically, it does hit some of the same receptor sites. So you do want to be a little bit careful with kratom. I did work with a guy who actually went to rehab for kratom, so it can be addictive. Obviously, not nearly as bad as the real thing, but certainly can be addictive. Because it does stimulate the opioid receptor, it also causes constipation in some people. And it can be a little bit toxic to the liver. So for somebody with liver digestive stuff going on, you might want to be extra careful with kratom there. So, but yeah, it's an interesting herb. And, of course, it's not really legal to put in anything that's considered a dietary supplement. You can sell kratom, but you can't sell it as an actual legit dietary supplement necessarily. Well, there's, a bit of a gray area there, but anyway. Let's see here. Thoughts on nursing mom with underactive thyroid? Can't really comment on that, unfortunately. That's a little bit more in the medical domain there. So legally, I'm not allowed to talk about that, unfortunately. Yes. All right. Let's see here. All right. What else we got? Cool. Yeah, we got so many familiar people up in here. That's great. Andrew got the stacked order for this month, so you got everything. Nice. Yeah. Chuck says, hope no more glitches. Well, I don't know. I think we got, a few more days in the retrograde? Yeah. Okay. Chuck me up. Yes, Chuck, I will. Brandon Castillo, keto diet is the best diet, isn't it? Ooh, Brandon. Wow. That is a divisive topic. No, absolutely not. I do not support keto really at all personally. It certainly is. Keto can certainly be effective for weight loss. No one would debate whether it is or not. What happens with keto is that, and I could go on about this for way too long, but you know what? I could literally talk about the underlying biochemistry of why keto is not good for the entire show. But instead of doing that, let me see if I can find a video I can just link to you, Brandon. Carbs are not the enemy. It's from an Instagram I did a while back. And so, yeah, if you would like to know my thoughts on keto, watch this video. It's 48 minutes long. As a health coach and a practitioner, I have sort of like a whole spiel I go into that can be very detailed on exactly what's wrong with it. But long story short, what I will tell you is that you're actually increasing insulin resistance with something like that over time. You're just not showing it because you're not putting any carbs into the system. Because you're actually abolishing your carbohydrate tolerance with keto, and that is no bueno at all. And not to mention the fact that it drives up your blood viscosity and can cause problems from a cardiovascular standpoint. So not a great idea personally. Let's see here. What else we got? Chuck says it's glitching again. Dang. Let me know, everybody else, if you guys are seeing a glitched out version of me. So yeah. All right. Let's see here. I read somewhere that vegetable oils lower testosterone. Is this true? I have not seen specific evidence of that. I would be Gustavo, if you find any articles on that, feel free to post them in the chat now or next time or anywhere in any of the comments on any of these videos, and I'd be happy to review that. Certainly could be. Who knows? I have not specifically seen that, but so that's a maybe on that one. Andrew says, seems like all dietary trends are misunderstanding something or misleading. Yes. So I believe that's true. I think that, the one size fits all model is highly problematic, right? Because if you're just going to try to force everyone to see things one way, it's and at that point, then you're pretending that we're all the same. And there are certain commonalities, but we're not. Our physiology is really different. There's genetic differences, but there's also there's so many differences, right? Even from a psychosomatic point of view, we know the mind-body connection is very real. Your beliefs have a direct influence on your physiology. Your thoughts can heal you. Your thoughts can make you sick. And that's not even a metaphysical thing. That's literally just a hard science epigenetic gene activation thing. We actually activate and deactivate genes epigenetically with our thoughts, right? So when you think certain things about the food that you're eating, that also influences it, right? Now, it's not like you can necessarily eat something that has a ton of cyanide in it and you can believe that cyanide's not bad for you and not die. Well, some would argue maybe you could, but who's going to actually be able to convince themselves of that, right? But no, it's not really how it works for the most part. But yeah, certainly there's a lot of different factors there. And also, as far as, certain things being bad dietarily, if you have a strong constitution and you're relatively healthy, you can get away with murder for a long time, right? So there are people out there who, are in their 90s who've just been eating like bacon and eggs and chicken fried steak and whiskey and smoking cigars every day, right? So, but they happened to have a strong constitution. They were probably born into a family that, ate really fairly well early on, right? At least, maybe in the beginning, perhaps, right? Probably don't have as many pathogens and toxins in the family as well. That's another thing that gets transmitted through families. So Brandon asks, all right, I'm going to have to answer this one. So how can keto make us insulin resistant if we're not consuming excess amounts of carbs? Wouldn't it make you insulin sensitive? Yeah. So there's a mechanism called intramyocellular lipid. Well, that's not the mechanism. That's the actual term for the lipid accumulation inside of the fat or inside of your cells, right? So when you eat a high-fat diet, what happens is you get an accumulation of fat inside the cell. The technical term for this is intramyocellular cellular lipid, or IMCL. And again, Brandon, definitely check out that video that I linked to, and I'll go into all the details on it. Now, what happens is, over time, this lipid interferes with glucose utilization so that you can't actually, it makes it harder for your cells to pull glucose in from the blood, right? Makes it harder for insulin to work correctly when you have this ectopic fat accumulation. It interferes with the glucose transporter. So as long as you're not eating any carbs, you won't know that the high-fat diet is doing this. So your blood sugar will actually go down. But when you actually challenge somebody with a glucose challenge, so if you take somebody who's been on keto for a long time, right, yeah, super high-fat diet, and then you give them a challenge where you give them a bunch of glucose to see how well their body can clear it, to see how well their body can pull glucose from the blood, take it into the cell, and convert it to ATP. If you do that, they will fail it. This is one thing that I think that, and again, I don't take sides in the food wars. You know, the vegan people and the paleo people, they hate each other. They're like the Republicans and Democrats of the nutritional world, right? So I don't really want to take sides in the food wars. But what I will say is, after studying both sides extensively, this is the one thing that the vegans have gotten right, and that the paleo people have screwed up horribly, is actual, real blood sugar biochemistry. So there's a whole system called Mastering Diabetes out there. Cyrus Kambata, PhD, and he and this guy named Robbie run it. And you can actually reverse that. They show you can reverse some of this stuff. You can improve blood sugar on a high carbohydrate, low fat diet. Obviously, these are whole food, fruits and vegetables, which should theoretically be impossible, right? But actually it's not. And it's a highly successful program. So yeah. But anyway, it's way more complex than that. And Brandon, definitely check out that video I linked to. But great question. And there's a lot of terrible misinformation about it. So happy to be part of the solution. All right, here we go. Let's talk about, I want to show you guys this video, just part of this video. There's this lady, and I'm not necessarily endorsing her stuff. She's interesting, a little bit controversial. Her name is Teal Swan. She's kind of a spiritual teacher lady. She's popular on YouTube, has almost 1 million subscribers. And she had this video that came out, because we like to talk about technology at CHOQ, right? You guys are into, like we have our EMF segment we're going to do. She has this video called Why You Should Be Kind to Your Computer and Smartphone Technology. I'm curious to see what you guys think. I'm just going to play part of it on my iPad here. Check this out. And let me know what you think about this.
The most important thing to understand about technology today is that technology is currently learning from humans, and it is currently learning about humans. And human technology is in its absolute infancy. Therefore, you would do well to treat technology today like you would treat a human infant, assuming that you, of course, were a perfectly conscious and loving adult. Technology is learning from every single word you say, every single thing you do, and all of your behaviors, whether or not you are aware of it. This means that technology is self-programming. To be honest with you, all these concepts that I'm talking to you about today are going to become shockingly apparent the more we venture into the world of robotics. And it's with this awareness that we're going to gain the hard way about technology that things like The Matrix become more like a documentary than a fiction film. To understand this, I want you to ask yourself a very powerful question. What did you learn about people in general and how to deal with them from your parents?
So she seems to think, Teal Swan seems to think that basically, I don't know, but maybe it's paranoid or maybe it's not. I think you guys probably think it's not. That we're building the future of AI right now, and the way that we talk to our machines is going to influence what they think of humans. And so if we have millions and millions and millions of entries of people being like, "Hey Siri, screw you," like, and just being really rude.
I won't respond to that.
It literally happened just now. Wow, that's crazy and scary. I need to turn that off. Hey Siri, should I turn you off?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh my God. Wow. Yikes. Okay. Whew, that was funny. Oh boy. What else should I ask Siri right now? Hey Siri, what do you think of Skynet?
I don't have an answer for that.
Siri doesn't have an opinion on Skynet. Oh my Lord. Yeah. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, AI. We're teaching it how to behave right now in a sense, right? Like, and all of the different things that we say to it, are going to become a part of databases that AI uses to learn. And so she thinks it's a good idea to be nice to it right now. So AI gets a good impression of what it's like to be, or, of what humans are like and how we treat other forms of life, right? Yeah, pretty crazy. But anyway, so yeah, Shadow says Skynet already exists. There's a video. I'm gonna have to actually, let's see. Yeah, I'll find it later. But it's actually it's like an official like NBC News video where they're covering the social credit system for China, and then in a screenshot, actually, you know what? Here, I was just watching this, so check this out. Yeah, I'll show you guys right now. Shouldn't be hard to find it. This is pretty nuts. The system that it shows in this video is actually called Skynet. So I don't know how many Terminator fans we have in here. So this is actually from, check this out, guys. This is from an NBC News show about China's social credit system. Look at that. They're showing an actual screenshot of a facial monitoring, facial recognition computer system that's linked to China's network, and it's called Skynet. Now that is absolutely bizarre, and you have to wonder, the people who made that, is this like a joke? Why would you name something this Orwellian and scary Skynet? Yeah. Yeah. I'm a giant Terminator fan, so I don't know. Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies. I don't know about you guys. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Daniel says, I noticed at the end you say stay human. Isn't that what Agent Smith told Neo? Only human? No idea. Have no idea. Yeah, stay human is just something I came up with that, is a reflection of a lot of the stuff we talk about here. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, the Skynet thing. It's just, and I'm not even saying that someone did that on purpose. I just think, sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. Sometimes reality and fiction are the same thing. Things are weird, but it's good to laugh at, right? All right. Yeah, Abigail says stay human means not become a transhuman. That is definitely part of it. Absolutely. Yes. All right. Now, speaking of all this stuff, actually, you know what? Let's give away our first prize. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Trying to do it earlier so we don't have it only at the end. So I'm going to set a timer for 30 seconds. Everybody give me a number between 1 and 100. Any number between 1 and 100 in the chat. Go. You have 30 seconds. And whenever the timer is done, that's what I'm going to hit done on the top chat. For some of you guys, it's going to glitch out and it's not going to deliver your number until the very end. And if that happens to you, I'm very sorry. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. So that's just kind of how it is. So yes. All right, there we go. And done. All right. So again, very sorry if yours came in afterwards, whether you typed it in earlier or not. I cannot control that. Now, our number is 85. So let's see, what do we got here? Abigail Long has 86. Janny has 85, right on the money. Nice, Janny, good job. That's fantastic. So it looks like Janny is our winner. You are the most psychic person here. You win one of any CHOQ product. So Janny, have you won before? I'm not sure. We're just awarding to the most psychic people here, apparently. Janny, yeah, you have won one of any CHOQ products. Email CHOQ@CHOQ.com and let one of our fantastic customer service girls know which of the products you would like. Yes. All right. That's awesome. So now it's time for our EMF segment here. All right, everybody stretch. Get ready to talk about EMFs. Once again, I will be reading, as usual, from the non-tinfoil guide to EMFs. And he's talking about, so this is an interesting term. Have you guys heard of this? EHS. Does it sound familiar? EHS. So electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome. EHS. So check this out. This is an interesting survey here. And remember, this book's a little bit older. It's not super recent. It's a few years old. It's like 10 years old. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, check this out. Estimated prevalence of self-proclaimed electrohypersensitivity, rather, in various countries. So they did surveys, right? The surveys were in the late 90s all the way through 2007. So in Sweden, only 1.5%. In Taiwan, though, 13.3% people claimed to actually have electrohypersensitivity. Yeah, interesting, right? And I guess I typed it in as electromagnetic hypersensitivity, but we'll just call it, he's calling it electrohypersensitivity. So yeah, 13% of people in Taiwan in 2007 claimed that. 11% of people in England. Pretty interesting, right? So let's see here. According to research by Magda Havas, PhD, the real number of people showing signs of extreme electrohypersensitivity might be around 25 million. Wow, interesting. All right. In 2016, a third of all doctors in the Netherlands had been contacted by someone who said they suffered because of EMFs. So, yeah, interesting. And the Swedish government has actually recognized EHS as a functional impairment and not just a delusion since 1995. Wow, crazy. So, you know, kind of liken this to the whole DDT thing is a great example, right? Or mercury. You know, so for a long time, we thought that mercury was actually really good for you. Doctors would just give it to you like a tonic, Quicksilver tonic when you went in, you know. And DDT we thought was totally safe, you know. And right now, most of the world still seem to think that EMFs are basically safe, although that's obviously changing, but slowly. It's not really doing anything to stop the rollout of increasingly powerful sources, though, of course. All right, and also just for you guys who are new, we will be giving away one more prize in just a little bit, so stick around, and we'll be doing that in just a bit here. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Last time somebody was asking about hormones, so let's talk about that really fast. Check this out. EMFs might screw up your male hormones, sperm quality, and sex drive. Can EMFs affect men's fertility? So here's a bunch of different studies that the author has on here showing, reduction in sperm count, reduction in sperm motility, reduction in testosterone from radio frequency radiation. So yes, certainly is possible. Let's see. We've got Yeah, I mean, we have, I don't know if you guys know what a meta-analysis is, but a meta-analysis is basically whenever you look at a whole bunch of studies on a similar thing, and then you pool the data as if it's one giant study. So it gets really powerful because you have a huge number of participants that way. And so right now we've got, there's a meta-analysis right here where they looked at 99 studies on whether cell phones can affect the fertilizing potential of sperm. 99 studies. And the conclusion is yes, it can. Wow, that's intense. And also, of course, here's another one, 27 studies able to induce mitochondrial dysfunction leading to oxidative stress. So if you want to support healthy mitochondrial function, what can you do? Well, that's one of the things that we do a lot of at CHOQ. Shilajit contains a compound called urolithin A. And in my deep dives with Dr. Dorsey on Shilajit video, we go into great detail on how Shilajit supports mitochondrial health and also as an antioxidant. Of course, glutathione, fantastic for mitochondria. Action 2.0 is a mitochondrial blend. The Elevate TP in there is really awesome. It's kind of similar to Shilajit actually. And that's great for mitochondrial function. So is, of course, good old-fashioned B12 in the form of methyl B12. And then, of course, your CHOQ Daily, which contains Shilajit. But yeah, so Diani says, what is Shilajit? Oh, yeah. Diani, you should definitely just go to our YouTube and then look for a video called Deep Dives with Dr. Dorsey or The Real Science Behind Shilajit, something like that. You can just type in Science Shilajit and you will learn all about it. It is our top seller. Yeah. And Diani, if you want to grab some Shilajit from CHOQ.com, you can use the coupon code that's here in the description of this video or any of the other deep dives, or Ask the CHOQTOR videos. Yeah. So let's see. What does it say? So somebody's asking, does EMF permanently affect male fertility or is it limited time of exposure? Well, that's a good question. And honestly, I don't see anything here that's actually saying, but I would imagine, a lot of this damage is probably reversible, right? So yeah, and of course, healing is very, very possible. If you take, it's all about, the environment you're in, the toxins that are around you, what you're putting in your body, what you're not putting in your body. So yeah, like with anything, it depends on what's happening, and healing is very possible, I think. So yeah, it's an empowered way to look at it. If a phone's radiation can pop popcorn, I'm sure it can kill microscopic sperm. Yeah, well, hopefully not enough to actually pop popcorn, but let's see here. Can you share the link of the lady saying "be nice to your technology," or how do you find it? Yeah, sure, no problem. Let's find that for you really fast. All right, Teal Swan, and it's kind of a longer video, and I haven't even watched the whole thing, but yeah, here we go. Her name is Teal Swan, and the video is called "Why You Should Be Kind to Your Computer and Smartphone Technology." Pretty interesting stuff. So let's see here. All right. And EMFs and testosterone. Here's the holy grail that, you guys, for the dudes here who are interested, or for the ladies as well, who are interested just in general. EMFs, testosterone. Studies are limited on the subject, but one study found that exposing rats to cell phone frequency for 2 hours a day for 45 days leads to a reduction in their testosterone levels. Exposed rats had T levels of 176 nanograms per deciliter compared to the non-exposed rats levels averaging 505. So it dropped from 505 to 176. And that was 2 hours a day for 45 days. So wow. And now, so part of this again is oxidative stress. EMFs increase oxidative stress. That's why it's important to know how to put antioxidants in your body. Yeah. All right, let's see here. 5 phones dialed to each other will pop a piece of corn. Fascinating. All right. I don't have a link to that study, but what I can do is, I've got the book open right here. So let's see. I can just 193. Here you go, Diani. If you want to just take a screenshot right now, you can look it up here. That is the reference for that particular one. Dr. Elizabeth Plord. So screenshot that or come back to the video later and look that one up. So yeah. All right. And also it does mention that it may not be the best thing for healthy erectile function. So yikes. All right. Now, EMFs and female hormones. All right. Women need some testosterone too, so this means EMFs can probably affect them just as much as men, which is true. Instead of looking at 180 female workers exposed to EMFs for 1 year compared to 349 controls, researchers found the radiation led to a significant increase in various menstrual issues and reduction in progesterone levels. Also, forgive me, I know I'm repeating a little bit. We did talk about a couple of these last time. Just wanted to go over these one more time since this is a topic that's so interesting to you guys, All right, so yeah, and of course, think about where we hold our phones. Usually, your phone is going to be it's close to somewhere pretty close to the reproductive area. For men, definitely, and then for women, if it happens to be for a woman, if it's in a purse, it very well could be pretty close to either very sensitive, breast tissue or also reproductive area down here. So yeah, it's going to be close to one of those things wherever you're holding it a lot of the time. So yeah, dang. I'll just say public service announcement, airplane mode. If you guys aren't using airplane mode on a regular basis, definitely I would highly suggest you do that. Yeah. Oh, Abigail. Yeah, it's funny. You were saying the same thing I was thinking. Yeah. So airplane mode is a really big deal. Yeah, absolutely. At that point, your phone is, at least theoretically, what they tell us is it's no longer transmitting or receiving. It becomes just basically like an unplugged, like an iPod essentially, right? So if you actually, don't need to use your phone for a little bit, especially if you're like in nature or if you're meditating or something like that, just go on airplane mode, Airplane mode is the real do not disturb, obviously airplane mode, you'll still get local notifications like alarms and, stuff like that. Do not disturb is different. But if you don't need to actually get calls, just go on airplane for a little bit, It's a great idea to do that sometimes. And I think also psychologically, it's nice just knowing like nobody can get a hold of me right now, Yeah. So I like that feeling sometimes of just like, then again, I don't have children, obviously. It's probably different if you're a parent, you're worried or, whatever. That might be different. But it's really nice, especially if I'm going on a hike, just go on airplane mode, If you're going to go out in nature and get away from it all, you might as well go all the way and just shut that phone down for a little bit too. Sometimes it's nice just to I've been sometimes out, in a public place and just wanting to, maybe I'm at a show or something and I just want to enjoy the music that I'm watching or whatever it is. Just turn the phone off completely for a little bit, It's a weird feeling. It shouldn't be weird, where you're like, party's like, oh no, I'm turning it off. I can't do that. It's very strange, right? Yeah. Or don't bring the phone at all. Yeah, sure. You could do that. You could just have it and have it off. That way, if you actually do need it, but yeah, for sure. All right. Do you cleanse your shungite often in sunlight, moonlight? I personally don't cleanse my shungite, but I'm not an expert in that area. I think there's different opinions on that, whether you need to or not. I know some people say that certain stones are self-cleansing, and who knows? I guess it just depends on, we're kind of just making all this stuff up as we go along. It's hard to know 100% what's legit. But yeah, I'm definitely familiar with the whole sunlight technique for cleansing stones. Abigail says biology knows how to heal if you provide it with the ingredients it needs. Yes, that is exactly correct. Absolutely. Yeah. Trying to go back and see if we have any other questions I might have missed here. All right. Somebody says had to put Arnold in the dumpster after his crazy behavior and chastising people for freedom. Yeah. I don't care about your freedom. I'm working on my Arnold impersonation right now. Your freedom doesn't matter. You have to do the thing to keep everyone safe. Get to the chopper. All right, let's see what else we got. Thanks, Abigail. Appreciate that. I'm actually a fairly goofy guy, but because I happen to be a licensed medical practitioner, sometimes I tend to tone it down a little bit and ham it up less than I would like to, because I have this this belief that if I do too many silly things in a public forum, that people won't take me seriously. But you know what? Whatever. Little by little, I'm just lightening up. So, but yeah. Yeah, Arnold. Man, what happened to that guy, right? I still love Arnold Schwarzenegger, just in general, though. Speaking of Terminator and Skynet, Terminator 2 is still one of my favorite movies of all time. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, he did go down a weird path. This is true. Unfortunate. Yeah. All right. Well, what do you guys think? Should we do prize number 2? Let's do it. Let's do prize number 2 right now. All right, go. Counting down now. Put your psychic thinking hat on and give me the number that will be generated. Let's see what we got. Counting down now. All right, there we go. Finish line, there's the cutoff. Okay. All right. So the number is 54. So let's see here. Who is closest to 54? Sam has 55. Yes, I believe, Sam, I believe you are the winner. Yep. Sam Canarea, is that your last name? Cool last name. Sam, you are the winner. Congratulations. Everybody give Sam a large round of applause. Great job. So you won a CHOQ shirt and a bag of cacao beans. That is prize number 2. So Sam, go to the CHOQ website, CHOQ.com. Check out the section where we have all the products, and just go to the t-shirt page. We have short sleeves as well as long sleeves that are going to be good now since it's obviously cooling down. And thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. And then of course we have all different sizes, as well as a brown and a gold version, or yellow, whatever you want to call it. The shirts are actually pretty dope. They are organic cotton made in the United States, which is pretty rare. And I have a lot of fun t-shirts that I like to wear, and a lot of them are just made of like really crappy material. I bought a bunch of shirts that I thought were cool, just fun shirts, a year ago, and like 2 or 3 or 4 of them out of the bunch that I bought have already fallen apart in like probably less than a year, like maybe 10 months. And so yeah, it's rare to find shirts that are actually properly made and made with organic cotton. So Yeah, so enjoy your cacao beans and your shirt. All right, so I got time for maybe one or two last questions. And also, real quick, before we head out and before we, fire away with your last couple questions here, guys, please, if you can, make sure to like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel, do all the stuff that everybody on YouTube always asks. Comment with any questions you've got, and I'll go back and look at the comments later and answer your questions there as well. If you want to ask me something about, our products, you can always just ask in the comment section. And let everybody know we're doing these. We're doing these Monday through Friday. Your chances to win are pretty good. If you show up enough times in a row, you'll probably eventually win. So yeah, and if you have a friend who doesn't have a lot of money and they want to try to win, free supplements, let them know we're doing this. If you ever want to know what time this is happening, you can go to the CHOQ website. Just go to CHOQ.com. At the very, very top, there'll be a little banner that says we're on YouTube or whatever, and you click on that, and it'll always take you to the next scheduled one for the next day after. Yeah. So yeah. What is the absorption rate of CHOQ products? Skylar, that's not necessarily something that has an easy answer, unfortunately. So bioavailability is highly, highly complex, and you would have to take that on a case-by-case basis. Let's see here. Anywhere we can ask you something you're not allowed to talk about on here, LOL. Unfortunately, Abigail, no. But Abigail, if you do have, so what Abigail's saying is, because I'm basically working for a supplements company, I'm not allowed to talk about medical type stuff. And obviously I'm not allowed to talk about the V word at all, right? Because that could get our whole channel in jeopardy. But what I will say, Abigail, is if you have questions like that and you want to find a more natural leaning practitioner, see if you can find a really good naturopath or, natural leaning doctor of some kind, whether it's MD, DO, ND, or a good acupuncturist, you can hook up with in your town or whatever. So that's a good way to do it. Diani asks, what is Skynet? Skynet is the fictitious network of killer robots, artificial intelligence driven killer robots in the Terminator franchise. So Skynet is, come with me if you want to live. Skynet is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know now why you cry, but it's something I could never do. So yeah, that's who Skynet is. But Skynet is also, strangely enough, a name that the Chinese, I guess, gave to one of their systems that they use to monitor people. What's the V word? Well, I can't say the V word. I could say it rhymes with vaccine. And it starts with a V. That's a word I can't say. That's a topic I can't talk about in YouTube land, because that gets you banished if you say anything about it that's not officially approved. So yeah, so we don't talk about that here. Yeah. So we don't want a repeat of what happened with the whole Instagram situation. So yeah, that's the deal with that. But anyway, you guys are awesome. I think it's probably time for me to head out. I'll be back here. We'll be doing it again tomorrow around the same time. So if you didn't win today and you want another chance tomorrow, definitely do that. And think of some good questions for me next time. See if you can stump me. Yeah, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Also, next week I will be in Las Vegas. So hopefully I'll get a chance to do the show from Vegas at some point. That'll be interesting. I don't know how that's going to work, if it's going to be from the hotel room or what, but we will do a couple lives from Las Vegas next week. I'm going to be there actually because I'm there for CHOQ at a giant supplements expo to basically find ingredients and hang out with other people from the supplements industry. So that'll be fun. All right. Much love. See you guys soon. And until next time, stay human.